Good morning, everybody. Insomni-quilting. I was awake again. I don't know if there's anybody out there as well. It was a successful sleep. I had a really good sleep until about an hour ago, and now I'm wide awake. So I figured laying there isn't actually achieving anything. My brain's going round in circles, finding problems that probably aren't there. I'll just move that around a little bit. So I figured, you know what, I could be sat doing things. I can't be doing with wasting all this time. I know I'm going to be tired later, but there we go. So, the other night, if you joined me, you saw me tacking on loads of Dresden plate. Well, now I'm stitching them. I don't know how good this is going to be. I've got new glasses. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Varifocals. Never had varifocals before. Don't know that I'm liking them. But apparently I have to give them a couple of weeks. So we'll do that and see. I've had them several days now and found that I've been going back to my old glasses without even thinking. So I've put my new ones on now. They seem to be very good for what I'm doing at this minute, distance-wise. If I'm looking sort of close, this work is good. And then distance is good. But if you look at anything sideways or slightly or whatever, it seems to me it's all out of focus and I'm not impressed with it. And when I'm driving, straight ahead is fine. Look anywhere else and it's all slightly distorted, and I actually had trouble parking the van because of it the other day. I can't see that I'm going to get on with them. I landed up putting my old glasses on to drive down to town. It's all too close and lots of people about, so we'll see, we'll persevere. But I can see me getting some set distance ones for driving. I'm not impressed with them. Yeah. Anybody else get that? Just very slightly distorted. Not impressed. So, I'm busy putting me Dresden petals together. Small overstitches, not too tiny. If you do them too tiny, you land up with a ridge down your fabric, which is not necessarily a good thing, down your join. So, small but not tiny. Out of the way, that's annoying me. Always start your stitching from this end in, because you can adjust this end. If when you open them out, that's not doing what you want it to do, you can adjust that. Whereas if you do it the other way, it's really quite difficult to get your curves done where you want them. So little over stitches. And then when I get to the end, likes now, I try and get some of the actual turn. So the fabric that's turned this side and that side. It just holds things in a bit better then, once you take the papers out. And then I come back on myself. 3-4 stitches. And then cut off. So where's my scissors? There's my scissors. And when you've done that, hopefully when you open it out, You can't really see the stitching is the idea. If you'd done it tiny, you could, there'd be like a little ridge down there. You can feel it on the back. It's just very slightly, you can see there. Let me take my glasses off. Can't see properly. Actually, that works. My glasses work quite well for close. They really do. Right, what did I do with my needle? There's my needle. Now I just need another Dresden petal. These are all just being randomed. As you can see here, there's a whole bowl full of stuff, and I shall just take one as it's falling out. Take the pin out. Join it. I do see which side does it look good on. And with these, because the colours are good, they'll go either side, so that's fine. I did a runner last week, or finished off a runner top. I don't know if anyone saw that, which I'm really quite chuffed with. So I've done them up as a kit and a pattern in case anybody needs, because you get the templates for the component parts, be they Dresden petals or circles or whatever. And whilst I was doing Sunday Live last week, I was telling everybody and showing, and as you do, and this popped into my head that actually it would look really good if we did several of them, put them together as a quilt top. So guess what I've been doing? In that little bowl that you just saw, there's enough petals to do another runner. So I'm going to do another one and put it next to it and see how does it look and is it any good. If not, I've got 2 runners. If it looks any good, I've got a load more to make. But then, it's definitely a sit in front of the television do job. I don't really watch telly, I listen to it. I imagine there's lots of you out there do that. Paul will be watching whatever. Occasionally my head goes up to see what's going on, but I can't just sit. I like to do something. So it's either sat doing some stitching like this, or I'm playing Sudoku whilst listening to the telly. Brain needs to be occupied on a different level. I'm sure there's a diagnosis sat there for somebody. But there we are. Do you know we're about... What time are we at? I haven't got my watch on. I'm thinking we're probably about 4:45, something like that. And you know, I'm just listening to the lorries going by. Oh, I'd say lorries, it could be tractors, I suppose. We get very active tractors round here. Very quick, very big, almost dangerous looking tractors at 90 miles an hour. But there we are, they're doing their jobs. There we are. Excuse me. Pick a Dresden, any Dresden. Does it want to go there or does it want to go there? That's possibly a bit too. We'll try it there. Oh, someone's come on. I see people. I have no idea who. Oh, Sheena. Good morning, darling. How are you? How's Mum? Everybody all right? Oh, missed. I'm busy just doing some Dresdens, putting them together. A knittering and nattering. not knittering, because I don't like knitting. I can do knitting. It's very slow, and to me, it's very boring. I know all the theory. I can do it. I don't love it. I prefer to crochet if I'm doing something like that. It's quicker. Grows quicker. All good. That's nice to hear. Lovely. Sheena, ideal, darling. What are you doing up there? There we are. I use a grey thread when I'm putting together. It's a Gutermann. A nice sort of neutral colour. This one's a cotton. If I'm appliquing actually onto something by hand, I use Gutermann silk thread in the same colour. Somehow the thread just disappears into the fabric. It's fabulous. We like a grey silk thread. But this is just a bog standard cotton Gutermann, which just works fabulously. You can put it with any colour then. So, what's been going on? Oh, yesterday, what did I do? Oh, picture framing, loads of picture framing yesterday. For those that don't know, we're picture framers as well as doing all of this here, patchwork and quilting stuff. I do particularly enjoy taking a piece of artwork and making it stand out from the crowd, for want of a better expression. So messing around with different sorts of mounts and frames and how to highlight them and which bits to chop off and which bits not to chop off. And then presenting your work for you. Love it. A bit of a challenge every time. It was, and it was actually quite a privilege, really. A lady come in last week with lots of her little paintings that are quite gorgeous. And wasn't sure on one or two of them, so asked me what I would do with them, and trusted me enough to cut them out so that it actually cut off different pieces of her work, so that we only showed the bits that I thought were lovely. By the time we'd done that and framed it, the picture's still underneath. I'm not cutting people's work up, but covering up certain sections and highlighting others. And one of them worked particularly well, if I say so myself, to the point where she didn't want to sell it then. She's going to put it on a wall, which I think was fabulous. That's a huge compliment. She trusted me enough to present that for her. It was one that she liked, but she was dubious about and was going to sell it. And she's keeping it. Which I suppose is it's all very well. She's supposed to be selling the buggers and making some money. But there we are. And to be fair, it was lovely. I'd have put it on my wall quite happily the way it was. Not that I've got any space on any of my walls. I've got that many paintings and pictures up of other people's. I've only got one of my own up. Hang on, can you see my new glasses? Can I see? It's not going in, is it? Turn the needle around. Try it from the other direction. Right, these are supposed to be new glass. Oh, there we go. It did go in. So that's not bad. That's at a fair distance, and I actually managed to do that. So the general is good. It's just I can't look sideways, otherwise I start to feel a bit sick. Right, what have we got now? I think that's going to have to go that end. I try not to when I'm doing me random, I literally try to just pick things up and do. Otherwise it defeats the object of being random. Run your needle up the card, out the corner. There we go. So also, yesterday, framing. I had lots of it, which is great. I've got a shirt that needs to be stitched into place in a box frame with other bits and pieces in it. So I was doing the layout for that and costings and stuff. So that's going to have to be done. That's going to take me several hours. It's like, this isn't necessarily a rugby shirt, but if you imagine people like football shirts and rugby shirts on the wall. So I will stitch them into place onto card, acid-free card, which is the old-fashioned way of doing things. I like a bit of old-fashioned, as most people know. But it means that that particular shirt, if necessary, could come out of that frame and be worn, and it will never, ever be wrecked. Whereas an awful lot of people have them framed, and what they don't know is that they stick a whopping great lump of card in it to keep it flat and stretched, and I mean stretched, and then they put tape all over the back to hold it in place. The tape with the glue in then starts eating away at the threads and the fabric and wrecking your item. But it's a cheaper way of doing it, I suppose. As I say, it takes me several hours one way and another to prep them and stitch them into place onto acid-free card. And then I pass it across to Paul and he makes the frame. It's a totally different beast when I'm doing it. But there we are. There's a bit of framing knowledge for you. So if you're ever having anything framed, check and see exactly how they're going to do it. And you want to see photos of it on the back as it's done. This day and age, they ought to be able to take a quick photo to say, look, that's how the back is. So that you can't see tape stuck all over your stuff. You'll get a little bit of tape at the top and bottom to hold a mount. Minimal. And in a position that is never going to do any damage. But there we are. So those of you that don't know, I also stretch textiles and stuff for people to present them framed for them. In between everything else. But there we are, it's good. Oh, that was nice yesterday as well. I had visitation from a couple of ladies from further down Cornwall, from Falmouth came up. Had a cup of coffee, nattered patchworky type stuff, and a bit of fabric playing as we do. And they're coming on one of our retreats. That's going to be hysterical. 3 of them coming to Basingstoke next year. That's going to be good fun. We've got another nice crew developing for Basingstoke. We've got one really good crew already. And because we had no more places to offer for next year, we've had to put on a second Basingstoke retreat. So that other people can join us. And that's shaping up to be really good. So if anybody wants to come and join us, best get in there. We've got some spaces on Coventry. I think from what Andy said, we've only got a few spaces on Coventry. Literally just a few. And then several on the Newcastle, the new one. We've not done Newcastle before. This is a new venue to us. So that'll be fun. I like a new one. And a new set of peoples. So again, if you're interested in joining us, you can reserve your place for a £5. And then we do payments through the year. If you need to split your payments, obviously if you want to pay for the whole thing, that's fine. It's totally up to you. But we find it works well for people that we split the payments. And then we've also got spaces on air for next year. That was a fun venue. It's like a ballroom. Lovely, lovely. So we've got some spaces on there. So this year we had lots of ladies come over from Northern Ireland, from Belfast. They got the ferry over because it's dead simple to get the ferry across. And then it's about, I think they were saying it's like a 45-minute drive from the ferry, so that's nice and near. We had so much fun. So if anyone wants to join us on that one, there's spaces on that one. So yeah, so we've now got 5 Three Amigo retreats each year. We offer once we've finished the retreat, we offer the spaces back to the people that were on it first, before letting it come public. So Andy was messing around with figures and things yesterday. I'm assuming it was Andy, it might have been Joe. And from the retreats that we've done so far, we've had a 97% rebook. I think that's amazing. 97% of people that have been on our retreats have rebooked for the next year. Hence we're having to do more. Because otherwise we've not got enough to offer everybody else. But if you want to come and join us, you do need to get in. Because they seem to be filling up pretty rapid. And what seems to happen, they're ideal for, I'm going to say individuals. 2, 4, 6. I need 6 of these in like a fan each time, so I have to stop that one now and start another one. So it works really well for individuals. So if you're not sure on who and what and where, come and make some new friends and have a play. And if there's several of you together, which is lovely. So say 3 ladies from down towards Falmouth there are going to join us at Basingstoke next year. Just lift that up a fraction. So that's really cool. Come and play. I don't do any insomnias whilst we're on retreat, because generally I'm sharing a room. And it's really not fair for me to be sat there in the middle of the night talking. I think whoever was sharing with me would have a few words to say about that. So what else have I done? So we did the chef's wall hanging, so the chef hats. That's quite interesting. I did something else this week. What did I do? Do you know, my brain's gone. I've got a new little one that I'm doing that is going to be for a workshop. That's all sorts of applique and stitch, which is a bit interesting. I don't quite know where it is yet. It's still in development. It's part made. Things happen as I'm doing. So we wait and see where that goes. And then, the other thing I did, I had a full day the other day. Was it Monday or Tuesday? it was Monday or Tuesday, or it was even Sunday, I don't know. And it was full of everything but stitching. And I'm looking at these fabrics and things, and I'm like, oh, I just want to do something. So I literally took whatever fabrics were on the table that I'd actually used them for the chef's hats. And I just chopped them into 5-inch squares and started putting them together randomly. Wasn't at all in the fabric combination that I would have intended. But they came out looking like, they reminded me of Love Hearts. The colourway. Sort of, I want to say pastel-y, bright but pastel-y. That's an odd thing to say, but there we are. Sherbety looking somehow. So I did all these 5-inch squares, and that made me feel so much better for absolutely no reason. And I thought, well, it doesn't matter. It's something to do. It makes a quilt top. If I don't want it, I'll give it Project Linus. And then the next day, I thought, well, first things before I do anything else, I'll just finish off these squares because I've got most of them together. And then I'm looking at it thinking, oh, do you know what? I quite like this. So I landed up putting a couple of borders on it, a dark and a light, to highlight things. And then I stuffed a load of applique hearts all over it. I quite like it now. So Project Linus isn't going to get that one for a minute. So I did a very quick pattern for people, but only because, so that you've got the heart shapes and the sizings. It's nothing. It's not rocket science. It's a nice, easy pattern for beginners or like me, just something to be doing quickly. If you need like a baby quilt or something. It was good. It came out a goodly size too. So I did up some kits if anybody's interested. So you've got 20 different fabrics. And then you've got 2 lots of borders. You've got the fabric for the applique. And some fabric for the binding. Not that mine's finished, but in the kit there's binding fabric. So that the top all looks lovely, and then you can put your own wadding and backing fabric on. I tend to use anything on the back, so that I'm using up whatever's going on. I just colour tone it. I don't really particularly care if it's the right fabric or not. I'm more interested in the front. So good morning to the others that are popping on and off here. It's nice to see you about, except you should all probably be in bed asleep. But thank you for your company. I was just saying about the quilt that I threw together in the week. So my problem tonight, as I got up, as I do, and then the cat demanded food, as he does. So I gave him a few biscuits. Tried to go back to bed, and it's like, do you know what? This isn't happening, because my brain started going round on a new design. So I'm going to have to make that at some point this week if I can. Just a small, it'll be like a wall hanging, or you could do a mini version of it for a cushion, I suppose, or a big version. You could do a big version and make it a quilt. There we go. I'm going to go for a mid-size, I think. I need to... The brain goes round. I'm laying there in bed and I'm like, he's fast asleep, which is lovely, because he's going to have to get up early to go to work. The cat's whinging at me and let me fuss him. So we're doing a bit of that at the same time, but my brain's flying around on what fabrics I can put together with this quilt. This new design. I say new, it's a take on an old design with a new... yeah, with new. So then that's it. Once my brain started on fabrics and what can I do and what can't I do, I've had it. What I'm doing here is actually just grabbing a little bit of each of the turns. It didn't come out in the first. There we go. That just helps once I'm putting it all together. So, Sheena, what are you up to anyway? What are you stitching? Because I can see that you're on perhaps, or have you gone? I don't know. Who's watching? Anybody watching? What are you stitching? What are you doing? Are you reading? What do you do in the middle of the night? I'm just going to put another one on here. What's that? Oh, actually, I quite like it there. That jumps more than there, doesn't it? Excuse me, that's tasteful. That's loud. I like loud. Coming up this end. Right, so this is going to be my last one for tonight that I'm actually on live with you. Because 20 minutes, half an hour's enough, and I don't know how long I've been on because I haven't got a watch and I can't see. Not a lot of sewing going on. All right, okay. We all have moments that we do or we don't. Oh, there we go. Bev's watching, apparently. Good morning, Bev. There we are. Just stitching a few Dresden petals together. I know it seems boring. I do the same thing most nights. But I'm on a mission to turn that runner into a quilt. And that's going to take a little while because I like to do them by hand. Nothing to say you couldn't do them by fusible web, as they call it. Like Bonder web stuff, sticky stuff. No reason why you couldn't do it like that if you really wanted and wanted to do things quickly by machine, if you're not into hand stitching. So, I'm just coming up to the end there. So we're Monday morning. That's an unusual one. I don't know that I usually do a Monday morning. Paul will be up for work in a minute, so I'll sneak back to bed for an hour. If I can stop the brain going round. There we go. There's something nice about the sound of the needle coming through with the thread. I don't know if you can hear that. There we go. Just about done. I'm going to just pull that up a bit. I was on about you can adjust them. I'm going to pull that up a little bit so that they now meet there. And then as I come up to the top, I'll make sure that I take a little bit from the outside as well as the inside, if that makes sense. So in effect you've got 4 bits of fabric you're going through. And then that will hold that one little bit that I've just stretched into place. So you can get rid of any little anomalies on the inside edge. Always start your stitching from the outside and go in. Right, there we are. I think we've done enough for a minute. Could be that way when we come to it. But there we are, so that's some done, put together. I'm just going to say have a lovely day, everybody, and a good week, because who knows if I'll see you through the week or not. Depends how busy I am and am I awake. See, look, they're all quite good, aren't they? There's lots of lovely colours and things going on in there. Right, one thing left to be said to everybody. Be lovely. Have a good week.